Hey everybody, it is Charlie from Visokii Entertainment, and I am joined with good brother Garrett here.
Yo,
And
yo, 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 yo.
yes, sir. And we are back with a brand new episode of VE Movie News. It has been a little bit, Garrett,
It's been like over a year.
but what a better time to start now than let's start breaking down some of these rumors because we got Moon Knight coming up. We just watched Spider-Man No Way Home. There will be some spoilers talked about of Spider-Man No Way Home in this for obvious reasons, but Garrett, long story short, you don't really know too much about these Doctor Strange rumors.
No, I haven't heard anything. I haven't really been paying attention to rumors recently.
So you're kind of going to be giving like this live reaction. I'm excited to see what you think, to be honest, because this film is going to be batshit crazy if a fourth of this is true.
I mean, I told you what I heard a while back, which
Yeah. So let's just jump right into it, right? We're gonna jump into this quote alleged plot leak, and then we'll kind of break down some of the cameos that they talk about, but we'll just kind of get some of the gist of this, right? So, long story short, they think the film is opening with Strange and Wong being hunted in some Sam Raimi camera work style by an unseen force. With them is America Chavez. And they're bouncing through universes, and America Chavez transports into the body of Doctor Strange, and she kind of transports herself into the main MCU universe. And when we see the trailers, we know right away America Chavez is probably going to be an important part of this movie. And as this is happening, this turns out to be a vision from Strange, and like everyone's dying and everything's violent and scary, and Strange wakes up. And supposedly that's kind of where this movie kicks off. And you see like shit kind of going down on the outside. Strange doesn't look so good. And Doctor Strange is having some problems, and this is due to his tampering of fate and basically forcing a fixed point in time, aka Thanos winning to have Tony Stark sacrifice himself, causing this timeline to be very unstable and start disappearing, like what happened in the universe in the Supreme Strange episode of What If. We've seen a lot of that potential. This has kind of been the talk, right? People have been talking a lot, like, is Supreme Strange going to play a role in this? Because we see in the trailer like some shit kind of floating, just like that What If episode. His actions in No Way Home have caused the multiverse even more problems as well. Now, I don't think that's a rumor, right? Like, that seems pretty obvious. So then this is kind of the kicker. Doctor Strange goes to Christine Palmer's wedding. In this, Strange and a surgeon from a previous film, they have some sarcastic conversations, and Strange has to leave New York as it is being attacked by Gargantos, which is a demonic octopus-looking creature. This is the introduction of America Chavez as well, so like our actual introduction to her, not just his tripped out, psyched out dreams. And this scene is partially shown in the trailer, aka the cutting the bus in half. They go to have pizza, they're breaking that down. He takes her to Kamertage, where we are introduced to Rintra, a Minotaur, which we already have. So Rintra the Minotaur is 100% in this movie. We've already seen the toys, which makes sense. Rintra is being played by Adam Hogel. I believe that is a rumor. Strange goes to visit Wanda Maximoff, who after the events of WandaVision lives in a large orchard in the middle of some mountains. Wanda immediately begins to apologize for her actions of Westview and says she has learned her lesson. And Strange is like, look, Strange knows all about WandaView and the fact she's able to pull off a doppelganger of Quicksilver. And that intrigues him. It's like, so I don't know. I don't think he's going to recognize that was a doppelganger. Do you think they'll bring that up? Like, honestly?
I think they might, because people were so upset by it that there's kind of it does bear some sort of acknowledgement that there was another Quicksilver in the MCU for a brief moment, even if it was only for a moment, you know? And people thought they knew for sure how they were going to introduce the X-Men, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point. So, can you kind of get a picture of what I'm pointing out so far? Is it making a little bit of sense? Maybe I'm missing points, but long story short, Strange is kind of tripping out. He's going to a wedding. Shit starts popping off, and then he goes to visit Wanda to talk about it. But what he doesn't know is Wanda has been using the Darkhold to summon demons. And when she summons these demons, they go after America Chavez. And that's why they need her, because Wanda can't travel the multiverse.
Is this gonna be like a hard introduction for like Mephisto? Like,
yeah, right. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Mephisto in this,
because he's a demon, right? He's like Satan.
I believe so. Yes. So, so Wanda hasn't seen Doctor Strange since 2016. They go back to Kamertage, and Wanda turns back around thinking Strange has returned, but it is Mordo, who we haven't seen, right? So Mordo shows up to the orchard for one.
It makes like let me just sorry, I don't mean to cut in, but like it makes so much sense that Mordo would be involved now because like the one thing that he didn't like that Strange was doing was tampering with natural law. Now I don't know how he avoided the time that they messed with the Infinity Stones is messing with the natural law, but whatever, like
yeah.
but
And
but other than that, I think it makes sense that because they just like almost broke the multiverse, like he would probably be pretty pissed, like
exactly. And it's like Mortal's character, we kind of know he's pissed. And so when Strange gets back to Kamar-Taj, right? What seems like it's going to happen is the orchard then disappears, revealing a dark, cloudy mountain with a demonic castle on top of it. Wanda goes to it, and that's when we see Mordo, right? I kind of mixed that up a little bit, but she sees Mordo, and he tries to kill her. However, he is quickly and violently killed by Wanda in a decapitation. This sets up and asserts instantly that Wanda is the main villain of this movie, and she truly is a villain. And now
I think that's a bit of a stretch. I don't think we're going to see Wanda decapitate Mordo because Mordo's in the trailer implied to be in more of the movie.
But again, there could be multiple Mordos.
That's fine. Maybe,
yeah.
But I mean,
so they think. I'm just kind of laying the groundwork here. Let's kind of jump into some of the other stuff. So that is one of the big points that we see in this plot leak, supposedly, is that Wanda will kill Mordo pretty quickly on. Again, this isn't a plot leak. We should say this is just rumors. And we're just kind of breaking them down on this because it's fun to do. And we like to
I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Me personally.
I don't really either, to be honest. I still don't know if Wanda's the main villain.
Because that's been a rumor for longer, like since back when this film was announced. Because people really wanted, because of the whole Westview thing, for Wanda to turn into this like psycho villain, but they gave her that arc in there, and she decided that's not what she wanted to do.
Yeah. So back at Kamar-Taj, while all this is going down, Rintra and America Chavez have been bonding, and we can then catch Doctor Strange in another dream. Except for this time, he sees Wanda killing Mordo, and then Wanda attacks Kamar-Taj. And in this scene, apparently it's brutal, and Wanda's killing is violently and many people. And again, this is partially shown in the trailer, Wanda attacking Kamar-Taj. There are glimpses of something attacking it, and you do see some red. So, yeah, this is a dream from Strange. And in this scene, it says, in the climax, America, Strange, and Wong are in the underground channels of Kamar-Taj trying to find an escape passage. Wanda stalks them in a frightening scene that ends with Wong being captured and Strange and America accidentally escape into another universe. So,
by the way, I want to point out about America Chavez. How is it going to feel that we're like just randomly introducing another variant of a Captain America that exists?
Yeah. And in Spider-Man No Way Home, we have now seen that the original concept art had America Chavez in that movie. Most likely probably was going to be the one to bring Toby and Andrew into it, right? So,
but they ended up going a different way with that.
And they cut her out of it, right? So, I think they have plans for this character. And if
I do as well, but like not in this, probably in the TV universe, right? Like I can't see her being
maybe
you can't have two Captain Americas. I'm sorry, you can't.
Yeah, well, they're probably gonna. Yeah, we just got to see how they book her, right? These are wrestling terms. Check out Eat Sleep Elite. So yes, so it doesn't really say if this is still a dream, but I believe we have escaped. This is no longer a dream. Wanda did actually stalk them. Wanda did capture Wong, and Doctor Strange and America Chavez have escaped into another universe on accident. And that is what sets up all these cameos that everyone's freaking out about. And this is what's kind of setting up the what the fuck is really going on. Right?
Okay.
So at this point in the movie, Wong's captured and they've entered another timeline. This is the timeline that they've entered is the Iron Legion timeline, where Tony Stark put a, quote, suit of armor around the world. That doesn't seem completely unbelievable. Chris Evans does briefly appear as President Steve Rogers in this universe, but Tony Stark is not played by Robert Downey Jr. It is a funny reveal, and it's Tom Cruise. The version of Tony is a little insane. Not only does he claim to be a prophet, but he actually has 3 of the Infinity Stones.
Okay, so they're basically going with the with the Oh, I bet that's where Evil Strange comes from, because there's an Evil Strange that's a part of the Illuminati in the Iron Legion timeline, I think.
And it's funny you mentioned the Illuminati, because we'll get into that in a second.
Did I just pick all of it? Oh my god, that's awesome.
And so this seems to be the thing that I think has the most.
I told you about this storyline a couple of years ago.
Yeah, this seems to be the thing that has the most proof behind it, and that is the fact that this may be, again, this may be fake. This may
Actually,
be,
you can find old episodes of this show where I was talking about this. Actually, I think.
Yeah, but it sounds like Tom Cruise is actually in this movie as Tony Stark. That seems to be one of the major cameos, probably the one that's in the most concrete right now.
That actually is another unbelievable part to me, just because I don't know that Robert Downey Jr. would let somebody else play Tony Stark.
Hey, man, right? That's what's so this.
That's like his, I'd almost be willing to believe that he would be in it, and that the Tom Cruise thing is like a mislead, so that people don't know that he's going to be in it or something. Because that seems odd to me.
And then supposedly the way that Tom Cruise is introduced mirrors the Green Goblin scene in Spider-Man 1, with Tom Cruise talking to the decapitated Thanos of his world. Tom really gives it his all for his brief screen time. That's kind of what they're saying. So,
I mean, I'm sure if he is in it, it's probably good. I mean, Tom Cruise is great, but I mean,
yeah,
what a weird choice.
So again, in this timeline, this worries Strange, but in an alternate version of Sorcerer Supreme, Mordo captures both America Chavez and Doctor Strange and brings them to the Illuminati. This now pre-reshoots, the multiverse stuff was very limited to a few members of the Illuminati, and most of them were MCU actors anyways. However, now we have a full set of the Illuminati after reshoots. The Illuminati.
Wait, isn't there supposed to be a Reed Richards in the Illuminati?
Yes, the Illuminati consists of Patrick Stewart's Professor X, Ian Gruffin's Mr. Fantastic, an alternate version of Monica Rambeau, who is Captain Marvel, Haley Atwell's Captain Carter, Tom Cruise's Iron Man, an alternate version of Black Bolt from Inhumans, still played by Aston Mount, Supreme Mordo, Eric Bana's Bruce Banner, and Ian McKellen's Magneto. Balder the Brave is still in the film, just reduced, and he is played by Bruce Campbell. So that is what the Illuminati consists of.
I mean, they got all the main members correct, which is good, including Black Bolt, which I didn't expect to see an Inhuman ever in the MCU.
Yeah, so this sounds like if there's cameos that I think might be legit, or not even like the plot, I'm a little like sussed out about. I'm like, yeah, maybe, but I do believe the Illuminati's in this movie.
Why do I feel like everyone just stole my theory from a couple of years ago about how they were going to do Secret Wars? Like,
it's possible, but I do feel good about the Illuminati being in this film. I think that has a high chance. I would love it if they do it right. This doesn't sound like just throw cameos together. It sounds like it actually has a plot reason.
The reason I brought this storyline up originally is because it's a bunch of characters that we know are friends in the current storyline. Like, we know that they all have mutual interests. You know what I mean? So it makes sense that in an alternate timeline that they would. The problem is getting there. They hadn't facilitated the ability for them to cross dimensions. And to be honest, they still really haven't.
Yeah.
We just know there are people that can come through. We just don't know. We still don't even know how the multiverse breaks.
Yeah, we really don't. So I guess they're having a conversation.
Well, technically we do, but we don't know like when in the timeline that actually technically is. You know what I mean? Like,
and people have no idea when this movie takes place. Some people say it takes place a year after WandaVision. Some people say it takes place 2 years. That we do not know.
I mean, they totally faked us out with the purple cracks from Loki. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So, long story short, they're kind of saying he's saying what's happening on his world, and that's Wanda Maximoff has been possessed by the teachings of the Darkhold and is ripping through the multiverse in order to find her kids. Professor X is concerned as the Wanda variant in his timeline right now with her children, Magneto's daughter. Mortal wants to kill Strange, as he explains his world was destroyed by him and that Strange is the greatest danger to their universe. We kind of see where these lines are coming in. We cut to a scene with Wanda at a farmhouse playing with her children. Aaron Taylor Johnson is Pietro in this scene. Unfortunately, thus Wanda is possessed by evil Wanda, and the Illuminati show up to fight her. This scene is actually insane, as the X-Men, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, Famke Jansson's Jean Grey, James Marsden's Cyclops, and Halle Berry's Storm, with Jessica Alba's Invisible Woman, a CGI version of Michael Chiklis' Thing, all show up to fight Wanda as well. If Garrett, come on, there's no way, right?
I mean,
this would just be batshit at this point.
Also, if you're gonna have Michael Chiklis show up, why not just have Chris Evans in the movie as the Human Torch as well? I mean, why not, right?
It's like at this point, if that happens, I truly think nothing's off limits. If we are sitting and watching this movie,
let's be real though. A year ago, we were talking about the possibility of there being 3 Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like,
and is it possible that they took that idea and now have turned it into let's bring the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, everything else? Totally possible. And I think that's why these rumors are fucking running so rampant.
Yeah, because I don't think anyone actually expected that to really happen. I think they wanted it to happen, but they were like, but it's not really, like, we don't know, you know, like.
So apparently it gets even better. The Illuminati try and fight her, but unfortunately they're all killed. And Wolverine's death is noted as being the most violent. Professor X tries to exorcise her, but she kills him by snapping his neck.
Wait, Wolverine dying? That doesn't add up. Hold on.
Hey, man. It's
unless it's like Old Man Logan, but like even then, Old Man Logan in the comics isn't dead. He's just frozen forever.
Magneto calls out to his daughter in a heartbreaking scene that almost gets Wanda back, but unfortunately, Magneto was obliterated from existence.
Yeah, that's comic accurate, I think.
Is Wanda going to be the greatest villain of all time if she's fucking obliterating
everyone?
No. Is that what I'm getting? No. I'm talking like most OP.
I mean, she is one of the most overpowered characters in Marvel Comics. Literally, her son's like one of the only characters that could even compete with her, and he's not even on the level of some of the cosmic entities in Marvel. So it's like...
So if you guys are lost, trust me, it's still getting nuts. A variant, Christine Palmer, breaks Strange and Chavez out of prison. Strange, Chavez, and Palmer are stalked by evil Wanda as they go through an underground sanctum, and this wonder opens to a multiverse that can look like a void. This is in the trailer. You see those three looking through a multiverse through a void, and Palmer is able to open this door with her watch. Chavez then gets captured by Wanda, and Strange and Christine are thrown into yet another universe. This universe is completely ruined New York City. This Strange is in the universe, is the evil one from the trailer. So now Strange is in his third universe in the movie, and now we see that Strange that's all out of fucking whack, right? Meanwhile, Rintra, our Minotaur, is rallying the sorcerers together in the main timeline universe to cast a spell to keep Wanda out of Kamar-Taj. Unfortunately, the sorcerers are mostly all killed when Wanda infiltrates the minds of Nova sorcerers with visions of horror. With their last breath, the sorcerer sacrifices himself to destroy the Darkhold. Yeah. Wanda then threatens to destroy all of reality if Wong does not tell her to find another copy of the Darkhold. He tells her that the Darkhold is etched into a castle on top of Wundagore Mountain, the birthplace of chaos magic. Wong realizes at this point that demons are corrupting Wanda's thoughts to try and plunge the universe into chaos. So, at this point, I'm kind of getting the vibe that... So now, if this is true, where Strange is experiencing other realities of Wanda killing and going batshit, we then kind of go back to ours. I almost wonder if they're going to have like a little a little graphic like, oh, now back into the MCU universe number 1.
I mean, the MCU universe does have a designated universe in the Marvel, like in the entire Marvel mythos, right? Like, I forget what it is, but it's been designated by Marvel as a universe that counts in the overall continuity of Marvel.
So we're getting towards the end of this little thing, and so I'll just kind of breeze through a little bit towards the finale here. Wanda takes Chavez and Wong to the castle. The castle is supposedly very gothic and is very Sam Raimi. Wanda also looks heavily decayed at this point in the film, and the Darkhold has corrupted her. And we're seeing some stuff. She begins tearing the multiverse apart. We see chaos caused in the multiverse, and as a variety of realities from previous films are shown, including the Fantastic Four from 2015, and they are completely decimated.
Fan 4 sticks by.
Right? So yeah, Strange and Evil Strange are eventually battle for possession of a spell that would cure Wanda. This trailer scene is a complete misdirect, as Evil Strange is only in the scene alone. However, the two battle with Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange defeated Evil Strange by impaling him on a fence. Doctor Strange then has to project himself into the body of a dead Strange from the beginning of the film so he can stop Wanda. So yeah, pretty much by this point, Wanda's still searching for her children from Westview. The multiverse is starting to break through. However, the variants of different MCU characters start appearing as they did in No Way Home. Zombie Strange gets to the castle and frees Chavez from Wanda. They start jumping through different universes. Eventually, Rintra and a few survivors from Kamartaj and Wong join the fight. Doctor Strange is able to get Christine and his body back from the ruined NYC timeline. He comes up with a plan. In a scene echoing Avengers Endgame, Doctor Strange assembles a legion of MCU variants, including the new trilogy X-Men, Wesley Snipes' Blade, both John Krasinski and Emily Blunt as Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman, Edward Norton's Hulk, Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider, a variant of Thor played by Liam Hemsworth, Thomas Jane's Punisher, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool.
Wait, why would you bring back that version of the Punisher? What?
That version of the Punisher is in a War Machine type outfit.
Oh, okay. I mean, still though.
And
oh god, that version of War Machine should be but that's a really cool version of War Machine.
Yeah. And in a big spoiler, Robert Downey Jr. returns to play an alternate version of Tony Stark. Doctor Strange is able to make peace with this variant of Tony as they both understand what had to happen in Endgame. So I think they're kind of giving this idea that, look, it was an absolute must. Now, the opposite happened in the universe where Strange died instead of Tony. They all fight Wanda, who is quite literally the most powerful being in the multiverse. This is a big foreshadowing of Secret Wars, apparently. The variants fight the demons so that won't infiltrate their universes. In the end, Wanda finds her kids, but they do not want her as she is frightening and decayed. They also are being taken care of by an adoptive family and not in danger like the Darkhold convinced her. Her look is quite gruesome and is one of the things Raimi and Marvel fought on during the reshoots. Fortunately, Raimi's Wanda is intact. So we're supposed to believe that Sam Raimi has pretty much... I'm imagining Wanda looks fucking insane at this point. Like, she's just a complete decayed, decrepit body. Right? In the end, Wanda sacrifices herself into the Darkhold, and the MCU is changed forever. This is equivalent of the, quote, no more mutants moment, as a heavily retconned Fox version of the X-Men is now in the MCU. James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender are for sure returning. Heavy negotiations are going on for the rest. Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool is the only character who remembers the universe as they were before, and this will be referenced in the following Deadpool.
All right, I'm going to disagree with their assessment that that's as significant as the moment where she says no more X-Men, because she deletes all of the X-Men.
Yes, and I'm guessing essentially now she's bringing them all back, right? Or she's
I feel like that's not the that's really not the equivalent. It's a 1-to-1 trade, right? The lives for the lives that they did in Endgame. That's why we can all get our heads behind that and make that make sense across billions, right? Trillions, really, you know. But at the same time, I don't think her bringing them back. Like, I feel like it just dismantles all the bad she does in the film. That's all that does. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, why even have her be the villain if you're just gonna have her do that? It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me because, like, the whole significance of that moment is that she cures them of the X gene essentially, and none of them ever become mutants.
Yeah, man. I think if this is the movie,
which is, by the way, why the Inhumans were supposed to replace the mutants, because they were separate.
Yeah.
And they didn't have anything to do with that, obviously, you know.
This person, this post also has just a couple extra notes. It says, it's unclear if John and Emily are the MCU's version of the Fantastic Four. It depends on how the audience reacts to them. I think if they're in this movie, they are a version of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, there's people that write these kinds of theories often will say stuff like that so that if it's not the case, that they don't actually have to defend it. And it's like, okay, dude, either have a theory or don't. Like,
Wong agrees to train Chavez at Kamartaj. We see that. Variant Christine goes back to her universe to
also, isn't America Chavez supposed to have like some form of cosmic energy that she has access to? Like,
yes, and we kind of get glimpses of it in the trailer.
So, like, how are they going to work that? Because she's supposed to be, like, not a reality warper, but a lot of her powers work off of the same energies as, like, of Wiccan, I want to say. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. It sounds like Tommy and Wiccan aren't being a thing here either.
yeah, which is kind of a sad, like, I mean, how are you going to introduce them? It's just too big of a
Yeah.
leap, you know? Like,
So variant Christine, this is the last thing. Variant Christine goes back to her universe to reassemble the Illuminati. Doctor Strange sees Chavez and Wanda's aged up twins at a pizza parlor. The actors playing these roles were not revealed as Marvel hasn't quite finalized who they want yet. So this is a pre-visual. Doctor Strange is not in a good place at all when this film ends. The post-credit reveal, the dead Palm are resurrected as Clea, and a third eye reveals itself as Dark Doctor Strange. The second post-credits is X-Men related and is not shown yet due to this reason. That is what they have wrote, pretty much breaking down the whole movie, breaking down the whole plot, all these rumors. Everything's batshit. Any of those cameos stick out to you as just a what the? I think the 2015 X-Men thing would be fucking hilarious, by the way.
yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, like, there was a similar thing that went way deeper than what ended up actually happening in Far From Home, No Way Home. And it didn't pan out for those people. That's all I'm gonna say for people that are looking at this right now with like, oh my gosh, this is what's gonna happen. I think there's a good chance that because they kind of spaghettied the wall a little bit, you know, that they'll get some of this right, but I don't think most of this is gonna happen, especially some of the stuff involving changing characters over to the different variants of them. Because like because we've seen in the MCU variants of other people, they look the same, most of them, like except for when you're literally talking about they're anatomically different, like, but like most of the Lokis look like Lokis, except for like the ones that, like I said, were literally different species or whatever, you know, like, but most of them look like Lokis, or at least like human, like Lokis, you know what I mean? Like,
and it gets you something to really think about. So it's like,
I still think we might have been mistold some information in Loki. I think some of that stuff wasn't necessarily reliable because it was Loki telling us, you know?
Yeah, and I want to put this out there. A lot of people have talked about there was a leaked cameo that they thought was in Spider-Man No Way Home. And they thought it was in Spider-Man No Way Home for like a good 5 months. Now, Doctor Strange was filming around the time that this kind of leaked, but everyone just assumed it was Spider-Man. And this was Tom Cruise in the motion capture suit. And now we technically do officially have this picture. If that is the route that they go, I will just respect it. For first of all, I'll respect the shit out of it because that is fucking insane. They also, I kind of skipped some stuff at the beginning because I do not believe this at all. We'll toss it on at the end of the podcast here because it's fun. But they said also this film is called Multiverse of Madness. The film is crazy. The budget is being kept secret, so that is nothing of the cameos they are getting leaked. However, it is estimated to be about 375 to 425 million after reshoots.
Okay, for all of those cameos they listed off, there's absolutely no way that's just there's way more money than that. Because like there's just so many high level actors that you're talking about bringing in, like
so many. I mean, there's like 30 plus cameos.
This is like Endgame levels. Like I don't even
they quite literally apparently have an Endgame type scene.
But why do people think Multiverse of Madness is going to be the crossover of? It's not like.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? If we're sitting there and we see fucking Professor X getting his head chopped off.
No, I mean the crossover that's like brings all the Avengers in. Like that's what they think this is. Like it's
like a multiverse Avengers. Yeah,
like it's like maybe, but I don't think this is the movie. Like I think there is still going to be an Avengers movie. We just haven't gotten a date for it yet. You know?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this is pretty much just some of the leaks. We just kind of want to break them down and give our thoughts on them. Yeah, so
have balls. Make it the Iron Doom timeline.
Yeah, right. Like there's some other people that kind of this person like just kind of put together a compilation of other random shit that they've seen.
I honestly think Doctor Doom as a villain is a really good possibility in this film. Honestly, like
what do you think of Clea? What if that is the post-credit scene and we get Clea coming to the MCU? Do you think this movie would get way too confusing for people that are just casual watchers?
Probably.
Yeah. I think so. If if that is the actual movie.
But
or even a
studios are
quarter
taking
of it.
big risks. Book of Boba Fett just took a massive swing.
Yeah.
They're betting on you being a fan.
Yeah. There's a Portuguese plot leak in August that is completely different from that. So that if you guys are wondering, is this the actual movie? Yeah, that tells you all you need to know. But yeah, guys, this was VE movie news. We're gonna try and make this like a weekly type podcast type show. Maybe it might be 5 minutes. It might be 45. It's kind of like this.
The news is kind of it's gone from like a waterfall that we had when we first started this show to like a drip over time. So
yeah, so expect us back. The goal is eventually we're doing a weekly review. We do weekly shows up until Moon Knight, and then we can get a weekly review of a live show out. It's kind of the goal, I think. So if you guys are interested in wrestling at all, we have a podcast called Eat Sleep Elite. It is on all the major podcast networks that you can find podcasts. We'd really appreciate you checking that out. We have episodes go up on that on Sundays. So yeah, other than that, make sure you guys check Garrett out on Twitch, man. Twitch.tv /the Duke of Derps. Garrett's streaming multiple times a week, including you checked out Yu-Gi-Oh! This week.
Yeah.
What did you think of the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Game that's been breaking all around?
It's on my console right now for when I get done here.
Hell yeah. So, yeah. So VE Movie News, this will be coming out on Monday. So, yeah, if you guys stuck around to the end, we appreciate it so much. And we will see you guys next week.
It's time to